In this lesson, we're going to set up a localhost environment on a Mac computer. Now, there are a number of ways to do this, but probably the easiest is a thing called MAMP. MAMP stands for Mac, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. Easiest way to find it is just to Google it. Click on the link. We're going to download the normal version, just the basic personal web server version. The Pro version really isn't necessary for what we're going to do. So go ahead and click on the Download Now button. And of course, that will begin to download. I usually just go ahead and let it open. And once that's downloaded, we have our MAMP installer. Go ahead and just drag that into our Applications folder as normal, and that will install MAMP. MAMP is a standalone program. It doesn't actually change anything in your OS X settings, OS X applications, OS X preferences. It's basically just a standalone system. If you have web sharing enabled in your system preferences, it doesn't affect this at all. So once MAMP has been installed, you can go ahead and run MAMP, and this window will pop up. Go ahead and allow it to start. Click on Preferences. Start servers when starting MAMP, stop servers when quitting MAMP. Go ahead and have all of these selected. Leave ports the way it is. Leave PHP the way it is. And then on the Apache tab, all you need to do is change your document root. I usually have it in the Sites folder in my own user, simply because that's where I keep all of my websites. You can put it anywhere you want. Just for simplicity's sake, users, your username, and sites. Click OK. MAMP will restart if it needs to, and then click Open Start Page. This is the home page that you'll get. Again, all of the MAMP Pro information over here, but here's what's important. To see your PHP configuration, you can look at the PHP info page. Pretty standard stuff. PHPMyAdmin, we'll look at that in just a moment. The host is localhost, the user is root, and the password is root. Again, this is a local host machine. Unless you're wide open to the internet, this is completely secure. And so you don't need to worry about having root and root as your username and password. I will say if this machine that you're using is mapped to the internet with an open connection, that could be a little bit dangerous, and you might want to go ahead and change that. To set up a new database, which is our first step, go ahead and click on PHPMyAdmin and give your database a name. Let's just use sample for now. Creates a new database ready to go for your Joomla installation, and that's all you need to do there. The next step you need to do is go to joomla.org and download the latest version of Joomla. 1.5.15 full package is the one we want today. Of course, you'll want to get whatever's the most recent. Click on Zip. You can go ahead and open it. Go to your Sites folder and create a new folder. This will be the folder where your site is housed. We'll just call it Sample Site for now. Go ahead and drag the contents from the Joomla download into your new folder in your Sites directory. So we're ready to go. We're ready to install Joomla on our localhost machine. Go back to your MAMP settings and click Open Start Page. This gives you the localhost address. Go ahead and replace MAMP and what follows it with your site folder name. And you should see the Joomla installation. It will automatically go to installation/index.php. Go ahead and click Next. If your site is set up in MAMP properly, you should see all green here. This is the GNU public license. Go ahead and click Next. The host name is localhost. The username is root. The password is root. And the database name is whatever you named your database earlier. We don't need to worry about advanced settings at this tab, but if you are using a current database with a current Joomla installation in it, you'll definitely want to change this table prefix. I usually recommend a new database for each Joomla setup that you have. That way you don't have to worry about that. If everything is good with your username and password and hostname, you'll see this screen next. If you get an error message, just go back and double check the localhost, the root username, and the root password. We don't need to worry about FTP settings. And now give your site a name. My sample site, whatever you want to call it. Localhost machines won't send out email, so you can just put in anything you want here. Normally that should be a valid email. Admin password. Now again, this is a local host machine. It's totally secure, as we mentioned before. So you don't need to have a strong password, but I would suggest that you continue to use strong passwords even on a local host machine. It's not a good thing to get out of the practice of using strong passwords. So go ahead and use a password that you're familiar with that's strong. Go ahead and install the sample data. You should see this message immediately. Again, this is important as we begin the process of learning how to use Joomla. It gives us just a bunch of stuff to look at and play with. Go ahead and click Next. When you install Joomla, the key thing here is to delete the installation directory. This is something I always recommend users to do. You shouldn't just rename it simply because if someone ever does get access to your directory, finds the installation directory, they can totally overwrite your site. If you delete it, they can't do that. So we're going to go ahead and delete the installation directory. If we really want to set it up again, we can just add it from the Joomla zip file and start from scratch. So we've deleted that, and now we have our new site. Welcome to the front page, and that's all it is to set it up on a Mac machine.